successfully recorded.
There we go. Hello, everybody. So yes, last week, Gary and I started talking about something different after we'd spoken about did the sleep talk, that bit.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I wanted you on here to be a part of it. Because
Okay.
did you all get the handout?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay. So this is what we can do. So I'm going to just go over it with you both. All right.
Give me a minute here. I'm down.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. And you can redo this if you need to. Okay. It was just an outline.
I know I copied it. Just a second.
To help people. And we're calling it Hypno Sleep for people living with dementia. So whoever is going to be doing it, have you got it?
No, I don't know where it's at. I'm looking here, but I'm not seeing.
That's all right. That's all right. Let me just get my other sheet out here.
I know I copied it. That's what I know. I'm not seeing it here.
Because of course we had the stay asleep. I think you wrote that down. Did I write? I think I wrote that out as well, and I sent that to you both. Yeah. So we're all checking our memories here.
Yeah, I'm just looking for my paper.
I'm glad Gary's got.
On that front, we were talking about that advert last week.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and there's another big thing actually that Saturday. It seems to all happen at once. We've got some football internationals coming up, and the England are playing Wales, and they've got something up with that to do with the sort of stuff as well, to do with the charities behind it. But one of the things they've done, and I can't remember exactly why they've done it, but it was a symbolism about sort of losing memory and stuff like that. Is for what they're doing, which is unusual, is when they actually play the match, they're not going to have the players' names on their backs where they normally do. It's just going to be the numbers.
So people can have to remember who they are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Because it's maybe that's what they used to do, and people.
Oh, they did, yeah. They did, yeah. It's about sort of when I was a kid, yeah. You used to have numbers on the back, and you had a program, and you had to remember who's who. And then sort of modern eras, last couple of decades, so you always have the names on the back, as well as the number. But for this
because Beckham always used to be number 8.
7.
7. There he goes. I knew he was a number. But did he have that? Did he have his name on the back? Maybe it was when. So it's probably around then to sell more shirts.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a big marketing thing now. Is because obviously you buy the shirt with the name on as well as.
That's what it was all for money. It was all for this.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, they never used to change the kit. I mean, now they change the design of the kit every season. So every year you have to buy another kit.
A new strip.
Yeah.
There's so much money involved in English football, the round ball.
I know.
in England,
we're involved with the oblong one more.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's the same out there, because when I was out in Detroit, I visited the shops for the baseball and also for the American football, and again they're the same things. They've got replica shirts and.
Well, you know what my son was telling. Yeah, my son was telling me this week, speaking of money, that to buy even a basic nosebleed section seat to their games, it's $1,000 a seat.
Yeah, no, when I was in Detroit, I was looking at that, and there was the Detroit, was it Lions? And I could have got tickets, and they said I could have had budget, standard or premium, and I think that was 350, 550, and 850.
Okay.
So I went to the baseball instead, and that only cost me $50.
Yeah. Well, if you buy it from them, it's $1,000. But a lot of people who have season tickets buy their season tickets and then sell them, and they can sell them at a cheaper price. But a lot of people, one person said, hey, you know what? my friend and I wanted to go, but this is how much it costs. So instead we bought tickets to a game in Los Angeles, and we're going to watch it there, and we're going to pay the same price we would have paid for the tickets. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
The cost
But I think that's good when people are starting to realize that actually, you know, people have got lazy. It's like how many, you know, people don't remember numbers anymore. I used to have a whole load of numbers in my head of
phone
numbers.
Yeah.
In fact, I can still remember them, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like so it's ridiculous. But kids nowadays,
no,
they don't even know their own number.
Yeah.
No. It's
and they can't do maths either. They can't add up or anything without a calculator and stuff.
No, actually, I still can't either. I still use my fingers. I mean, I can, but I still, but sometimes it's like some of the odd numbers I don't like.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Okay. Right, getting back to this. So you got that sheet with when it says, you know, stay asleep. And this is what they would say. They would say it in a normal tone, and just next to them or wherever they are, you know, and then they go to sleep. Okay. Now, over a period, so at the beginning, before we give them that statement to do, we would do this assessment. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go through this, and this is what you would do. And you can add in, that's why I've left a couple of bits here. You can always, if you're clever with the computer, you can make yours bigger and add in other words, or I can't. My husband had to do this for me. Okay. So it's I don't like doing things like this, but I wrote it out on a piece of paper, and I said, here, create this nice for me for tomorrow. But I just figured it's a really nice way to do it. So we've got the carer's name, you know. Now this is for us, not for them. This is for our assessments. So we've got assessment 1. Name, obviously, of the person. I didn't want to put name of person living with dementia, because we know, you know, there's still a person, all right?
Right.
So, but the carer's name, the male, whether obviously if they're male or female, their age and the date. Now I did physical first, and then it's just literally we can put a tick. Poor, okay, good. All right. Now, if they say to you, well, it's actually in between poor and okay, then you can do it on the line. You can just do it on there. Okay.
Between the two.
Yeah, I did. And I could have made this, you know, even, you know, very poor. I could have gone okay. It could have been good, very good, excellent. But you know what? They're living with dementia. Let's or it's the carer. Let's just get this done. All right. Nobody likes having this assessment, so let's just get it done. They're either it's poor, it's right shit, or it's okay, or it's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So it's if it is poor, I think we can ask them to say, tell me more. And that's the question we ask, is tell me more. Okay. It's not what do you mean, it's not how's it going, just tell me more. It's a really nice, I use that probably a lot, and I expect you both do as well with clients already. Tell me more. Okay. So we've got physical, we've got interest in activities, the eating habits, coordination, speech, ability to toilet themselves. If we're first seeing somebody, it will probably hopefully still be good anyway. A lot of this might be good, and it's our ability to maintain a lot of these as good, all right, as we see them continuing, as the person is doing that statement. We're looking for anything that's poor, because where we go to the emotional bit, level of anxiety, this is probably why they've called you in, yeah, ability to deal with issues, ability to remain calm, self-esteem, day-to-day happiness, level of fear, I would think they're probably calling you. If you look at the list, I don't know if you've got one, Carrie Ann, on the emotional, you can't find it, the emotional bit, you know, they're probably calling you in for that. So that's probably going to be poor or okay. We're looking for those to get to good in the next time we do it with them. But there will need to be a gap, like a month in between. This is you know, so it's all very well. We can see them for the first initial 6 weeks, but then what about extra can we do? Because we want to keep clients, yeah? So now call me in. I'm going to do this in session 3 or 4 with you, and start doing this now. And then when I see you for our continual work together, but you can see me in every, 2 months or something, or 6 weeks, then we can see where you're at. And it gives you something else to do, to check, okay? You will not do this in front of the person living with dementia.
Oh, okay.
You will do this probably as just a silent extra. So either on the phone or just as a when the person living with dementia is in the bathroom or whatever, okay? I don't think it's nice for them to know, albeit saying that we have asked permission for the person living with a dementia if the person can do this statement, because they're not a baby, yeah? They're not a child. We don't know. You're going to have to take it by client on whether you do it in front of them or not. It depends on the person. All right. Because to do this, but they could probably join in and go, yeah, it's improved. So although I've just said, do not do it in front of them, don't do it in front of them if they're an angry kind of person, but you could, if they're a bit more, up for a lot of change. You're going to have to do it session by.
Yeah. Whatever pops up.
I can't, yeah. So it's like, so we're looking for all the pause to at least become okay and eventually get good. We're looking, and then of course we've got sleeping habits, ability to cope alone. We're looking for those to become okay and good. The physical things, we're hoping them to remain either okay or good. Yeah. And the behaviors, again, just to everything to get better or to at least stay the same. Sadly, as dementia, because all of a sudden it can be, then it's like can be like that.
Yeah.
We can just maintain that bit hopefully for longer. Yeah. Okay. And this statement will help do that stay asleep, just knowing that they're lovable and that every day is a good day. It will just keep them at a good place. And if it suddenly does, you go one day and they may say, oh, I just want a 15-minute session with you just to go over this. Everything's poor. What else can we do now? What else? What other? And that's where we go into other, maybe, they've already will have hopefully got looking at care facilities as well. It just sucks. It's just a really hard thing, because it's not going to get better, miraculously better, unless somebody creates something. They keep saying they have got wonder pills, but I don't think they really have. Not yet. Any comments on any of that?
It will be done in a different way, personally.
Say that again.
I said I think it'll be done in a different way, more with frequency.
Oh, do you?
What I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more I learn through this app that I have, it's pretty evident that's where it goes.
So does it change the brain waves?
Yes. Well, it has something, especially if it's in early stages, it has something called inner voice, and it reads out of 10,000 frequencies that are in our voice, it will read about 2,000 of those frequencies and give a printout. Then now that this printout has music that will center, that's comes with a color and a note, a musical note, and it goes from center, and then it goes to the right brain and does something there, and then it goes to the left brain, does something there, and the final one, it really goes into the subconscious mind. And they're all supportive frequencies with whatever is going on. Now, that's not even some of the new things that they have with this that I haven't gotten yet, but that is more with the sound and light with the brain.
Wow.
And then there's another TM something that fits on the head. And I haven't gotten into that. I've just used, but that's what's going to do it. Einstein said the future of medicine is frequency. So I think that's what's going to do it.
Right.
It's going to get better and better at it. AI increases its intelligence, every three months.
Yeah, so can you imagine saying that statement, the person's voice, the frequency?
Yes, it's their voice and they recognize.
Yeah, with a frequency as well at the same time.
Yeah,
that would be lovely.
Just listen to your music, maybe they could put little headphones on or whatever, listen to your music. And I think that's going to help. Oh, I think it will help tremendously. And they've already discovered that the gray matter on Alzheimer's is with mice, that is deleted with sound and light. They've been able to remove it with sound and light off of mice.
Wow.
So that's all frequency.
Yeah. Yeah.
So personally, that's where I feel it's going. That's where it will, I think that's what will do it.
Yeah. So Gary, we'll just play you, put your headphones on and play heavy metal. and that'll bring you back.
Sure.
But it's, well, look, I mean, music, it harps. People love listening to, the trickle, the sound of a fountain, water, the waves, the this, the that. So yeah, and as you say, so if somebody's deaf, can they feel the vibration then?
Well, now that's really interesting. I'm not sure. Because I've never asked that question.
Yeah, you must be able to feel
never asked the question, because really it is more with the sound and tones. That being said, what I do know is I don't know if you know about energy, scalar energy, or anything like that. This is all scalar energy. So I can play it for my husband, for instance, and he'll get it. Whether he's here with me and he's listening to it or whatever, he's going to get the frequencies of that because of scalar energy.
So it is, yes. So they could.
I think they could. I think they can. Yeah.
What's interesting on that, I think you'll get the vibration. Certainly, you go to get out loud gigs, there's a lot of vibration. But interesting, last couple of sort of gigs I've been to at the O2, sort of big, huge venue. They actually have a section. They've both been heavy rock gigs, but they both had a section where they actually have signers for deaf people. They've had groups of deaf people in there, and they're signing the lyrics that are being sung actually at the gig.
Sure.
So obviously they can't hear anything, so they get to sign the lyrics. But
this isn't. Yeah.
The vibrations.
Yeah. I think they can feel the vibrations.
I think so. I think so too. So how that would be, I'm not totally sure, but I'm going to definitely ask the question now that, I hadn't really thought of that. I know that sometimes it's maybe not as effective with persons that have maybe lost hearing in one ear, and you know what I mean? So they don't get the binaural effect of the music because it is binaural. But it is always addressing different parts of our brain, the center, then the left side of our brain, and then the right side of our brain. And each little
They will
section.
figure that out and do, because they will. Because
I know they will.
people living with you know, as people get older, our hearing goes. You know, my hearing is going. So if I'm in a noisy place,
yeah,
and there's people trying to talk to me, and there's disco music on or rock music, I can't hear a word anybody's saying. So I'm just better off dancing. I can hear the music.
Yeah.
But if somebody's trying to talk to me, I'm like, end up trying to lip read, or I have to be like right next to them, and I don't always want to be like right next to them. And it's so yeah, you know, and it's true, and that can actually start to cause you know, people being more withdrawn anyway, and people being on their, because they can't hear, they can't. So deafness is definitely linked to loneliness and actually deterioration of the brain, because they're not getting as stimulated. So it's so they will figure it out.
Yeah, it's really important that hearing is important.
But for deaf people or people who are deaf, because they're not deaf people, they're people who are deaf. And it, you know, this is really important all the time, is that people first, people who have, you know, no hands, people who have dementia, people who have cancer, you know, people who are dyslexic, they're person first.
Right.
You know, people who are neurodivergent. You know, it's so yeah, so it's quite, so I think that would happen, because we know, we've already spoken about this before, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. We know that the tonality is important, and so I love that you've brought that up again about the frequency, because it's important.
I think that's where it goes, because there's different programs for different emotional situations, and each one of the notes and colors also have what is called, would be an emotional component and a physical component, and all these different things, because the emotions affect us physically as well.
So how do the colors work?
They are 12 different colors, and associated with 12 different notes. Then that would be the notes on the piano, Gary. You're kind of musical, you may know that. So they color, I don't know if have you ever heard of color therapy?
Well, I've got people with scarves and, you know, sort of, and I know
they have glasses. We have glasses that'll go with this too, to listen to it as you do. But let me get into inner voice here, because it then scans the whole body. Actually, if I do easy scan, it'll do my inner voice, but it scans my whole body as well. So it gives me all kinds of crazy information. So yeah, each one of these are the balancing harmonics. So there's 4 different tones, and they will, you know what, I'm going to go to inner voice. Did I go to inner voice? Let me go to easy scan, because I like that one better.
I was just wondering how it gave you a color, that's all.
A color has vibration and frequency.
Yeah, but how does it, from the app, how does it, I can understand how an app can
Well, you can see here. I don't know if you can, how well you can, let me do this. Let me go to.
So I'm just wondering if it sort of like says go wear a color or go find something that's purple. go find.
Well, that happens too, because each note, my highest note is my center note. And that would be, you know, I would just, if I did balancing harmonics. So you can hear the music. Used to be just tones and other kinds of music. But if I
can.
So that's what it looks like. Let me see if you can see what it looks like. This. Shoot, now something's going to pop up, right? And it'll just go from one to the other and figure out how I am. This is getting too much of a thing. But anyway, each one of these are 4 different colors, and each of those colors resonates with a certain whatever's going on in the physical body. So
has it been
it with the tone? And let me see if it here and reports. And if I do this and I go,
can it help with cancer?
I believe it does. I believe it does. Personally, I think it can. Yes.
So reduce a tumor.
Pardon?
Reduce a tumor.
Well, U of M has just developed equipment. I don't know if it goes into water or whatever, and it is reducing liver cancer. It's completely getting rid of the tumors of liver cancer, and it's with sound and light. It's with frequency.
That's what people die from.
And they don't have to have surgery. They just experience the frequency from the machine, and it's FDA approved, which is really cool because then it's going to be there for people, but specifically for liver cancer. So that's just the beginning. So yeah, the frequencies definitely will. That's what I said. If I ever got liver cancer, I'd go to U of M because they've got the equipment to take care of it, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought liver cancer might, well, again, it can be from sclerosis, can't it?
Right.
Fatty liver,
Right.
and then, you know.
Right. So what also goes with this is what is called mind sync. So in mind sync, I can use the music behind it and create my own affirmations. So it's like self-hypnosis, you know, it's just that type of thing.
So, right. Okay.
So then they're listening to the music, and there's a great little YouTube video of a little girl who's saying, I am beautiful and I am smart and people like me. And she's saying all these things, you know, in the background, but that's what her mom did, used inner voice. She was having real problems in school, just kind of acclimating in school and being able to talk to other people and that type of thing. And she started, so she did the inner voice with her. And then she created a mind sync program that gave her all the affirmations. So now this little girl is, you know, saying these things. And she said, her teacher what did you do? She said, I can't believe the difference in her just within a week or so.
Yeah, well, that's what this is from, this you know, this hypno sleep is based on that, with the parents doing it.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, we all know that affirmations, you know, absolutely do work, because you start running it through your head. I am good, you know, the more you say it, the more you believe it, the more you are.
Right.
So this is interesting. I mean, do they play much music in the oncology departments, Gary?
No.
No.
Isn't it interesting? Yeah, they would probably be really quite nice.
Yeah, I mean they have sort of some very, in the waiting, well, not in the waiting room, in the fountain centre, they have sort of very quiet background music, which is sort of, you know, soundscape type stuff, but not sort of so you can hear it. It's just really so that it's not silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's but again, same with people, as I say, living with dementia. It's actually play music, play what you used to like to listen to, makes people feel better.
It does, and they remember.
Yeah,
remember those music.
The feeling.
I think I told you we had a neighbor who had Alzheimer's, and I have another neighbor who does healing with music, and she's just a lovely musician and can play almost anything on her ukulele or her accordion or whatever she uses. And we had a party here, and she brought her little ukulele, and she started singing songs from his era, and he just lit up, and he was singing the songs, and it was real, and he was pretty advanced at that time.
Yeah, because I remember the feeling, and that was a happy day for him,
right?
And so I think you know, it's really important for us to understand that, to tell people. But that's why I ask about the, you know, if somebody is deaf, it can then be quite hard, because it's a very,
but they're going to get the frequency of the you know, I can create a playlist. There's multiple things on a playlist that I could.
Well, they've got hearing aids. I mean, they do. I remember my grandma, she had hearing aids.
My husband has hearing aids, and he listens to his inner voice with hearing aids.
Yeah. And my grandma had those ones that hang around the neck. I don't know if you remember, they were a long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
You turn it off on purpose sometimes, because you didn't want to hear anybody.
Exactly, or don't put them in.
And you always knew, because it'd go whistle, it'd go woo, and she couldn't hear it, but grandma whistling.
Especially if the hearing aids are close together. That's when they get that buzzing noise. But my husband does that, and we do easy scan every night, you know, especially since he's had some health issues, and it really does help. I think it's amazing, and he loves that. This is a new program, this new music. It was they appealed to this composer, and they said, okay, these are the notes that we have to look at, and these are, you know, for each of these different frequencies and different things like that. And so he composed the music for each one of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
So this new one is really, really very nice, especially if you have headphones on.
Yeah. So what do you think to that, Gary, about the music and the frequencies?
Again, it's not something I know a huge amount about. I mean, it sounds interesting, but I'd like to see more, obviously, actual data. Certainly you're going to be able to feel frequencies, because let's face it, music is vibration. So it's, you know,
exactly.
I mean, you can certainly, as I said, you know, going to gigs now where they have sign readers there, signers, so that they're obviously feeling the music but getting the signs of the vocals. I mean, so certainly I've been at some gigs that have been so loud that you can't fail to do it, however deaf you were.
Yeah, well, you could just feel it through other people, but you can, you know, if they put their hand on the box, you'd be able to hear it.
I mean, the loudest gig I ever went to, it wasn't even a heavy metal gig either. It was electronic music. But the Prodigy, have you heard of those? Don't know whether you've heard of those.
Possibly, I don't know.
Sort of Firestarter was their big hit. Twisted Firestarter, but I went to see them do a warm-up gig in a sports centre, and they're known to be loud, and you actually get offered earplugs when you actually go to their gigs because it's extremely loud. When they're hitting the bass notes, not only does it hit you in the chest, but my nostrils were vibrating. I couldn't stop my nostrils vibrating. It was so
wow.
Exactly.
So that's how loud it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, people could burst their eardrums.
Well, that's why they offer you earplugs when you go to their gigs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That really is. So, okay, any questions on that? I mean, I think it's fairly explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we're trying to do there. But that goes together with that really quite nicely. And then as things progress, we can add in the different statements, which I'll do next week. Okay.
Okay.
We'll add those in. It's you know, and just think about that. What else, and why that's so important. Because we have to always be able to offer more.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing of hope is important.
Yeah.
I don't know what anybody else thinks to that. Do you think that it's a fallacy? What do you think to the word hope?
It's each one of our emotion on the emotional scale, each one of our emotions has a frequency. So hope is, of course, on that scale is, I think it could be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Really.
So it's because then they think that there's help.
There's hope.
Something.
Yes.
And it's, there's what do you think, Gary, to the word giving people hope?
As long as it's realistic hope. I mean, that's one of the things that I say in the oncology. If you're working with a patient, one of the things we do is forward pacing, for example, with hypnotherapy. Now, if somebody's given 6 months to live, you don't forward pace them 2 years to say how marvelous everything's going to be.
No,
because it's just going to upset them and all the rest of it. So yeah, you can offer hope and things, but it's got to be realistic.
And really good point. So we've got somebody so it's the whole thing of offering the right kind of hope. Okay, that because we're not going to be able to fix cancer, not going to be able to fix the dementia, but we can. But it's just like that, giving them something else to do actually makes them feel as though the carer is actively doing something proactive, as opposed to just sitting on their backside and not doing anything. And even if, but we have to still hold their hand and go, we this isn't magical, but let's just see what happens now. And as we start to change the statement out, because there may be something we don't know that could help. But what I love, Carrie-Anne, is that I don't mind saying this frequency thing that you've got, that you're saying that will be out and about more.
Yeah.
That would, I would say that would give people hope.
Yes. And that definitely, for sure, it's that, because that's the voice part of it is directly connected to emotions, whatever emotions that person is feeling or that having. And I wanted to tell you that I think I mentioned to you before, there was a gal in the one networking group that I'm in that she has homes for Alzheimer's. It's called the Circle of Life is their business. And I'm going to meet with her this week, and I'm going to go and visit some of the homes. And the gal who has, I guess, is the president or who has developed this whole process. And I guess these homes are just beautiful from what I've heard. And she does things for the caregivers. Their office is like a resource center. So people can come there and learn, what can help. I left some of my information there the other day. And so she does classes for individuals that are caregivers. She also does that. She's going into homes as well for that type of thing. And for a year, I guess there's a fee or whatever that she goes. And I don't know how often she goes. I don't know if it's once a week or more or whatever. I'm going to find out more about all of that.
Because you're also another resource now.
Yeah, yeah. And so my information will be there. And
I'll send you your certificate soon. I'll be giving Gary his. I mean,
yeah.
well, I've got so we've got next week's, and then I'm going to do a week. I'm away because I'm in Chicago, so
Yeah.
we've got next week, and then the week after. So I think that's like the 13th, and then the week after. There isn't one, but I am doing a Zoom call with Dr. Daniel Nightingale, but I'm not seeing him until like either the Wednesday or the Thursday. So when we've done that, that will go up for that week. Okay. And then we'll do some more just
so we are meeting though next week, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meeting next week.
The following week is when we won't.
Okay. Yeah. And then the
yeah, not you'll be in Chicago as well. So.
Yeah, you'll be in Chicago.
Yeah, you'll be there. So you'll see.
And then the following 2 weeks we'll be going over a lot of stuff, making sure that you know what you know. And yeah, and I'll well, Gary, you'll have yours because I'll be hand delivering yours, and then Carrie Ann, I'll send you yours. So you need to send me your email. No, not your email, your mailing address.
Okay.
So that I can actually send it to you. Because it's you know, and then it's another certificate. It's because it's just nice to have one to say that you've done this year's training of knowledge of what to do. And then there's all the stuff is on the and I'll make sure I put all the weeks that I've sent you stuff to go in the appropriate weeks in the files in the Facebook group as well. But yeah, next week we're going to go over a bit more of this, how we can change it out for them. Because actually, Carrie Ann, you're quite right. If they've got the frequency and then they're changing the statement, then they can do the frequency and the change of the statement at the same time.
Right. Usually we'll do an inner voice before, so they're nice and balanced that way.
Yeah.
And then they would do the mind sync. And there's a number of ways. They have a lot of that. They have like I am statements, or maybe for weight loss, or maybe for different things. They have a list of affirmations that you can use, but then you can put your own personal ones into it.
Yeah, because the statement has to be said very specifically, because the unconscious mind will actually delete things.
Right, right. Well, I've even asked, I had one of the gals who's I learn a lot from, actually. She is an NLP trainer and practitioner.
Yeah.
And she would say things like, she would go to AI and say, okay, I would like affirmations produced for this thing, this particular thing, as a master NLP coach and trainer. And then she would have different statements from I am to I feel. There's different.
Yeah.
She'd have like three
will you put the link again in the Facebook group for this machine?
Yeah. And really, even if you want to go, if you have access to YouTube, if you go to solexnation.com, if you just put
can
that
you put
in,
that in because I don't even know how to spell it. So if you can put that in the,
and then the most recent call, or the most recent thing, they do a little, I don't know, about a half hour, 40-minute thing every week. Just ignore the first part where they're talking about people, product, different things like that, and go right to Lauren is speaking, and he's the founder of the company. And he talks and explains about this new inner voice and how it's worked and how they developed the music, and it's really interesting.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I
too.
bet.
So
No,
that
no,
would
thank
be a
you.
really great way to not only see it, the technology.
Yeah, because you use this with
clearly.
your clients then.
Oh, every single hypnosis client I work with,
Right. So I think
and they
that,
love it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
love
no, I'm
it.
sure.
Oh, I didn't get my thing, you know, so
Okay, no, I'm
they
sure
want to
they
make
do.
sure they have the
I think this could, you know,
recourse.
it could really
Yeah.
be great. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're
And so somebody,
welcome.
if they really, so for the recording, if somebody really wants to go into this whole field, then you know what, it's something you could really explore, and it looks like it could be going places. So you know, I
It's
love
been
it when the
around for a long time, and that's how I came about it, because I've used biofeedback. It's that type of thing.
yeah.
And we've all used that, the Fitbits and the different things that we wear on our arm that measure our heart and different things like that. That's all biofeedback. But I started that in like the mid 90s, and it was even before that that it was developed, and by a physician that I went to, um, that I worked with. It made a huge difference.
Mm.
And he would be able to determine what, with that equipment, it's much more advanced now, um, he would be able to determine what homeopathics or natural medicines would work with me, and he could see which ones resonated most with me individually. And so I just kind of kept up with it and found it in different places or different people that maybe did the biofeedback thing. But I had a physician that I was going to, and she's a naturopathic doctor, and she went to a conference. And at this conference, um, I'm thinking it was probably Lauren, just the time frame of when they were really putting, he was so excited about taking technology that costs thousands of dollars on a computer to work with something into a handheld, you know, something that everybody could have in
But
their
it's an app.
hand. And he shared it with her, and she came back to the office. She says, Carrie, I know you're really into this. You got to look at this. You got to take, you know, and that's how I got started on it, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really been around,
Thought to
and
do a
he's
talk
just,
on it at a conference.
yeah, well, I could maybe do that.
Are you
I could
seriously?
maybe do that. Yeah.
You know,
I'm
because
still learning so much about it, but absolutely, I think there was a fella at in Vegas, not this past summer, but the summer before, because that was right before I started to get my vertigo thing, which this is really just kind of taken care of. Um, and he had the equipment there. He had the software there.
oh,
So, you know, he talked on it a little bit about, you know, what it was. But it's, I don't know, I think it's a game changer with hypnosis, really, you know, especially if people have habits and stuff like that. There's always an well, there's an emotional component to everything, but
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I use it
coupled with how
because
to,
I mean, Gary and because I use the bunny talk process or eye movements.
right,
It's
right,
it's like, but even that will produce some kind of like with
right,
Hayden,
exactly.
it will produce a kind of vibration
Exactly.
somehow
That's
working.
exactly what it is. Because really this equipment starts with, they don't call it an aura anymore. I guess the medical or whatever profession now is calling it a biofield. Our biofield is, you know, all out here, like
Yeah,
6 feet
neurofeedback and stuff.
around. And so it's reading what's in that biofield, and it'll show up in the biofield before it shows up physically. That's why you can't say, oh no, I'm in big trouble because of this thing or that thing, that might show up on a scan. So, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's really fascinating. I've loved, and this guy is just amazing what he's
Put
developed.
it in the Facebook group. It's really helpful. So because as I say, if we're saying the statement, and then with that, and then because that could actually also be another, because it's about assessing it.
Right.
Even if it's like, well, where are they now?
Yeah.
And I know we've got that other one, which has the MOCA score. Do you remember we did the other one, the MOCA and the or the slums test that we did right at the beginning when we were checking everybody? You've got those, and you can see where they are on the scale of with dementia from that test. But actually, what about the carer's opinion? Yeah. What do they think emotionally? What do they think about their behavior? What do they think? Is it poor, okay, or good?
Right.
What's happening? What's the change? And I think it's just helpful to have another thing that you can make an assessment from. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got those. Add them to your toolkit, and I will. I'm going to stop the recording now.